jokes, okay?
I know.
You're like, yep, and I'm like, come on, dude.
Hey everyone, how's it going? We are here to bring you another Trans Trusted video, and we wanted to talk a little bit about transparency, and specifically regarding our weekly groups, which have not gone particularly well, and we wanted to talk about why, instead of getting upset or making ourselves, negative self-talk about it. We just want to talk about what happened and why we think it happened and how we can help to make the groups just more accessible.
Yeah, and overall kind of giving our experiences into why these sort of situations happen and our perspective as to how we would engage, or what's causing a lack of engagement, in this platform.
Exactly. So for those who don't know, we have 3 groups that we offer weekly from a digital basis. So we use Zoom platform. It's completely free to use the platform itself for all of you. And we do ask for a fee for each of these groups, but we try to make them really what we feel to be very fair and affordable.
Minimum affordable.
Very much minimum. And so ultimately we think we've covered that, but every week we have first the business groups. That's a business guidance group. The focus of that group is really to work with businesses and have them share resources, how they can be better allies to the trans, non-binary, and GNC community, as well as how they can market and treat employees that are within. So that's every Sunday from 1 to 2 PT time. Then we have 3 to 4, we have the Transmasculine Experience group. You want to tell them what that's about?
Yeah, and the group is more of getting a community together and for us to have a safe and comfortable space to communicate our experiences and our journey and our strives and the things that we've had to overcome. Overall, it's a group to be able to relate with one another. It's one that we can really understand that we are not few and many around everywhere, and be able to share what's similar between our experiences and what's also different and unique about each one of us. And yeah, that's what we want to really cover in the Transmasculine guidance group, and it's just a great. I'm pushing for it because I think a lot of us have so many unique stories, that we're just timid to share.
Yeah.
At least I can feel that way.
Yeah, I echo that. And the third group we have is a parental guidance group, which I actually do with my mother, Marina London, who is also an MSWC. So together we have a mother-son dynamic, and we are there to support parents who have kids of all ages who happen to be of trans experience. And that group is really for them to connect, to share resources, to get support. That's really the focus on all of these groups. And we acknowledge that it's possible this didn't go well because there might be a lot of fears there. We were talking about our first experiences when we started to do support groups within ourselves, not hosting, but going. Do you want to share a little bit what that was like for you?
Exactly, because overall, communication has always just been a battle for me, so coming out to groups or feeling comfortable enough to join a group, even just like in a physical setting, like in an organization, there's a lot of just like self-judgment that comes with it that I think a lot of us just always feel because of our experiences. We judge ourselves so much, we feel like everybody's judging, and that's something that I have felt like wanting to walk into groups is like, I'm not sure if my experiences are valid or the same, or if I'll be able to relate with somebody else's experience, because it's been so rare and few to have such communication, so it's just like the unknown of what it could be is kind of like, it's scary, because you're just like, what if I can't relate to anyone? It's like, what if my experience is not the same, and I keep validating this that I'm alone, when overall we all do have a lot in common, in our experiences where we all feel and fear the same.
Oh, I hear that. I mean, and do you feel like that myth has been busted for you at this point in your transition? I mean,
oh yeah, overall, like if I fall back into it, it's a lot of self-judgment I'm having towards myself, but I've noticed that going out and going to some groups as well has really helped me build community and validated that who I am is as a person, as a human, and with feelings and with experiences, and not just not just my transmasculine experience is the only thing that I have relatable with these people, and it's great to build community apart from that. Is what I've noticed from really breaking my shell of not doing groups.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, for me, I've found a lot of fear in groups for the same things. It was all about, the overwhelm of, do I belong here? And what am I going to say to people? And what are people going to think? And it's very much wrapped up in one's mind. But what I've found that I've busted throughout going to groups and participating really comes down to that, again, we have these commonalities, but that everyone really shares a lot of these same fears, that we're all looking to connect, that we're all there with the hope that we're going to find something more, some support that we need. And during the holidays, which is a particularly challenging time for many of us in the community and otherwise, we especially need that help and that guidance. And there are support mechanisms that are around, particularly with social media now, where there are different groups and there are places you can go. But what the benefit of having a digital group is that you can meet people from anywhere in the world. And there are a lot of places that don't have the privileges of having groups. So we're in Los Angeles, we have the privilege of having physical groups if we really wanted to make the effort to go.
Yeah.
But the reason why we wanted to focus on digital is because we feel there are so many locations, particularly, in middle America or out of the country, where their support is not the same.
Exactly. Overall, we're a lot bigger of a community than we ever give ourselves credit for. We really have a lot of pride, and we are worldwide, and we want to be able to bring that communication on stories from worldwide to everyone, because we're more than just a few, and that means that we have so much in common. And so many things that we can connect with that is our experiences and beyond, and that's what we need to open up, because that way we can build a community and be stronger and actually feel comfortable engaging with one another.
And it has the same thing to do with parents. I mean, families transition together, and then everyone has their own separate transition. Aside from the fact that when you transition as a human being, you can transition to another career, you can transition in a relationship from dating to marriage. There are a lot of different ways to transition in your life. We're just talking about a gender transition, but we're talking about parents. And if you have even just the two of us sitting here, that there are parents out there with trans children of all different ages. Bless you. And you have, bless you. You're going to have parents that are also fearful. It's absolutely understandable if you're overwhelmed, if you have a lot of fears about your own parenting and people judging you and you judging other people. Everyone, the parents all have the same fears. It's understandable that you would worry about whether your child's going to be healthy and happy and safe, whether you're worried about your parenting style, whether you're showing up for them properly. Maybe you're fearful that you're complaining or, putting blame in ways that others aren't. All your feelings are valid. All of your experiences are valid.
And you're not the first one to feel them either. As parents, you feel like this journey is alone, but there's so many other parents that we want to bring together so that they can talk about what's similar and what ways that each parent has handled, because it's a life event. It's just like other life events. We grow through them as a family as well. And like you said, you all transition, and other parents have done the same journeys, are doing the same journeys, and talking about it in between parents is such a great resource for the kids as well to develop relationships too, because you could be talking to somebody else's, so you could be talking to other parents and your two kids can have something in common. That's how friendships also develop between kids. Like some of my childhood friends were because of similar parents, and those kind of things. Again, we're growing community and growing bonds through our similar experiences.
Yeah, and it's important, for the parents and the kids to both have support in the transition. If we talk about businesses, you might be thinking, maybe you're skeptical about why this is something that's important for you to engage in. But the reality is that trans, non-binary, gender non-conforming people are here, we exist, we deserve to have equality in your workspace. We exist as consumers. We make money, we work hard, we need things to survive. So we're people that you need to pay attention to. You should want to make sure that you have a space where people can feel comfortable no matter their identity at work. You should have a space where you want to be able to hire and invite people to apply who might be the perfect person for you. And because they happen to be trans, non-binary, gender non-conforming, they should still be able to apply and feel comfortable to do so. And by you showing that you're a business ally, you're going to hold respect and make that place safe and inviting. And when it comes to consumers, you need to have that sensitivity training and that perspective, because there's a lot of overlap and a lot of misunderstandings that occur, particularly in the fact that for as long as society has been around, we've had things very gendered, particularly in the marketplace, and this is really being expanded on.
To touch on that as well, what we're really wanting to communicate too is the universal language that also comes through, because we're talking about equal, being equal and safe in the workspace. And this isn't only just in our communities either, that this will help the business just grow for the rest of the employees as well, to be able to communicate what an employee needs and be able to reciprocate that as well, because this kind of relationship that is developing between employee and business is also making the rest of the company and the rest of the employees stronger, because it's fighting for respect. Overall, every community has a different way of respect, and we are communicating that so that businesses can also talk about which ways they have been able to engage with all their employees and make all employees feel inclusive, as that.
Yeah, it's time to bring the agenda for 2020 to kindness, love, to empathy and compassion, and to really just opening your doors and concepts to other than what you may have experienced. But we're out here, we have these groups, we're going to keep promoting them, we're going to keep offering them because we believe in them, and we know that we love and need them, and we want to give this and provide this for you. And our hope by doing so digitally is to create communities that are safe, that are resourceful, that are enjoyable and exciting,
that can communicate with one another, through one another, inside the community too, and outside communities. It's about engagement with all these communities that we are developing and have developed, and being able to, combine all these communities with respect, with equality.
Yeah, it's really a privilege. So again, every Sunday, you're going to have first the business guidance group. That's 1 to 2 PT time, again, using Zoom. It's $50 per session. We have then the Transmasculine Experience group. There's also on Sundays 3 to 4. And then we actually have the parent groups on Mondays, and our first parent group is going to be the last Monday in the month of December. So we're looking forward to having that. And you can find all this information below on our website and our social media. We look forward to talking to you soon. Have a wonderful holiday.
Happy